I'm going to mute myself right now.
Okay, I definitely need to hear it for sure. I'm going to be up in New Jersey in April for Fresh Linen. He is stateside. He's active duty military, and his wife actually designed the cover art for American Graveyard, the art book. So I'm going to be in New Jersey in April, which will be really close to Philly. I think we're going to do something in Atlantic City. So if anyone is in that area and wants to come hang out, I'll release the dates when I'll be there. But
all right. Welcome to the Garage Poets Open Mic. It is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Happy. Erin go bra and all that. Please don't drink any green beer. It's not good for you.
Why not?
Because beer is not green. And it really just makes a mockery of the whole thing.
Huh?
But no, I don't know. I'm just messing with you. I got to readmit Generalissimo here into the room. So tonight we have as our feature Lee Eric Freedman, the rebel poet laureate of Swampscott, Massachusetts, and a dear friend to the poetry community. We look forward to Lee's feature. We're gonna have the first 5 poets on the open mic are gonna come up and read for us. That's myself, and then Marissa Prada will be on deck, so she can be alerted that she's next. And so this poem of mine is Pulling the Switch. It's an anti-war poem. Nolan and I are on Cleveland Avenue, more stone than Mount Rushmore, switching the lawn ornaments adorning one house with the lawn ornaments adorning the identically built house next door. It's a game we call moving the goalpost. Nolan is in front of number 43, dismantling the strategically placed ceramic troll, frog, and mushroom display, while I'm at number 45, uprooting the arrangement of John the Baptist, plastic deer, and a welcome to the Tanner's sign. Changing our position as the aftermath becomes tenuous, Nolan takes a backgammon board from his backpack, sets up the black and white pieces, both of us not quite sure if we should be here, but neither of us willing to admit it. We smoke and laugh. The Tanners will have questions when they wake up to see what went on when they were sleeping. Thank you.
let's go, Jeff Taylor! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Marissa Prada.
All right, this is for the men. We got a lot of men here tonight, so this is for y'all. This is for the men who can dance and not step on toes. This is for the men who let women cry on their shoulders because they picked the wrong lover again. This is for the men who open doors and push in chairs, who lead a woman with their hand on the small of her back. This is for you. This is for the men who put the toilet seat down, who cook and clean and can assemble things with horrible instructions. This is for the men who go to check strange noises in the middle of the night, who work on cars and can change a tire. This is for the men who make mistakes and say, I'm sorry. This is for the men who are told they need to settle down, have a wife and kids to be a real man. This is for the men who cry, who are human. This is for the men who grieve miscarriages. This is for the men who believe in God and those who believe in love. This is for the men who understand that consent is sexy. This is for the men who leave relationships to save themselves. This is for the men who let their daughters paint their toes and sons play with ponies, the Little League coaches and single dads. This is for the silver foxes, bald-headed beauties, and those with incredible beards. For the men who worry about the size of their dicks and those who whip it around in a circle. This is for the men who are gentle yet demanding in bed, who are good teachers and even better students. This is for the men who fuck as much as make love, who kiss soft and slow and deep and hard. This is for the men with huge dicks in porn movies. Thank you. This is for the men with little dicks and amazing tongues. Thank you. This is for the straight men, the gay men, the bi men, and non-binary them. This is for the quiet men, the loud men, those who stand up for who they are, and those still figuring that out. This is for the men who are fiercely competitive, but still gracious winners and fair losers. This is for the adventurers, the explorers, the troubadours, those afraid who do it anyway. This is for the men raising another man's child. This is for the caregivers and those in school, those in uniform, frontline workers, and those in positions of service. This is for the heartbroken, the grieving, the uncertain, and those who never give up. This is for the passionate poet, the artist, the musician. This is for the men who face their demons and challenge their guardian angels. This is for the men who suffer abuse and trauma, discrimination and exploitation, who are survivors and work to heal others like them. I see all of you. You are all enough. And this right here is for all of you. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I kept, at one point I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a D.H. Lawrence thing. I like challenge my guardian angel. I want to fight you. I want to fight you now.
I know, but did you hear the ding on the TV? This phone is loud.
So thank you, Marissa. That was excellent. And next up, we have Generalissimo Brian Franco.
I'm going to do two shorter poems. And since we were talking about figs earlier, this is my fig poem. It's called Green Figs Are Better Than Black Figs. Sometimes when I bite into a fig, I taste brown sugar. Figs are delicious on a ham sandwich. Try an almond butter and fresh fig sandwich on toasted bakery marble rye. Marble rye is the perfect sandwich bread. Figs were once called the fruit of the gods. There are certain Bible scholars who believe the fig was the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. They just don't do a painting justice, thus the apple. Ain't nothing goes better with a piece of buttered bread than Miss Mary Stuart Stevens' fig preserves. She told me she adds crushed pineapple to the pot. From the outside, figs are a frumpy looking fruit, but inside they are gorgeous and dreamy looking. I believe figs exist on earth because a drunken angel dropped a few figs from his cloud condo. They fell into a fertile field, and the next spring a new tree grew, bearing flowers, producing a fruit with the taste of ecstasy. Figs are nutritious, delicious, and high in iron. Doctors often prescribe figs with anemic patients. And then the next poem is called Incursion on Filet Mignon. After he cut off a charred edge of steak, before he bit the first bite, he impaled the steak with a steak knife which stood at a perfect 90-degree angle perpendicular to the steak. He imagined himself a Viking on a pillage. The steak was a sentry to a castle he breached. The knife was a sword that had last belonged to his great uncle. He swiped the sliver of charred meat into the au jus pooling in the plate, then dipped it into mashed potatoes, sprinkled with black pepper freshly ground from a 1-foot-tall solid wood pepper mill his sister gave him as a housewarming gift. He savored the savory bite. As his teeth chewed, his taste buds invaded his brain with endorphins, which found decompression with a single sanguine swallow of Syrah, sending his satiety into a detention until he could attack his dinner again. Thank you. And I just want to say that this Sunday I will be featuring for Funfa. Was a last minute fill in for another feature. And I've got some other stuff that is coming up, and I'll just put that in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. I love your food stuff. Your food poems are always make me want to care about food more than I do. Next up on the open mic, we have Linda. Because I think Christopher is not in the room anymore.
Okay. So I'm going to read a poem about a fairy and a troll boy. I don't know, it's kind of fantasy. It reminds me of Irish stuff or something. So the name of it is Tall Grasses and Willow. Fairy girl, her willow tree, grows amongst tall pines where no one can see her flit and flutter from branch to bark, keeps her secret of her whereabouts after dark. There is a knoll which grows thick, tall grasses that shelters a troll boy who wears glasses. With these spectacles, he can see where she flies. Yet in the evening, her secret is with the skies. Fairy girl dabbles in potions. Troll boy builds gardens of devotion. She always has a cup of dew clenched in her hand. He prefers dark ale from faraway lands. His draught quenches thirst and urges. Her potion camouflages for her evening excursions. After several months, the two, well, they met. Amongst the tall grasses below the willow tree, they stumbled. No worse did they trip than does a humble bumble. Fairy girl and troll boy talked and commiserated. They noted their beverages had since gone fetid. Alarmed, each was desperate to drink. Troll boy assured Fairy that there was hope if they could only think of what their beverages tasted like. Well, she said, sweet and clean, while his tasted bubbly, a foamy dream. Together they pondered, chanted, and squeezed every flower, leaf, and fruit from his garden of devotion. They taste tested, then sprinkled fairy dust into a bottle, enhancing the potion that was set into his hovel. Fairy was patient. She knew their elixir could not be drunk until the morrow. Upon awakening, they poured the liquid into a vessel. Eager to swallow, and with gusto and delight, was the maiden sip of what is now known as spiked bright. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. I always enjoy your poems. Next up on the open mic, we have Marshall Harvey. And after Marshall, we will jump into our feature, Lee Eric Freedman.
All right. Figure in the mind. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
You can put a person or an image of one into a hologram, put the hologram in a tiny unit of rock, ship the rock a long way off, and wait for someone to interpret what you did, what the figure is, what is represented, what is going on. Guess at who you are. Always you assume they start from knowing nothing. They have everything to discover about you, the image, your civilization, its history, your planet, adrift in space, your solar system, galaxy, galactic neighborhood, galaxy cluster, supercluster, in your neck of the woods in your universe, among others, perhaps unknowable ones, still those in unknowable universes can speculate whether your universe could exist, what it might be like. You can guess there might be an infinite number of universes indefinitely far away, and eventually one like yours, unknowable, too far away ever to see in any possible set of circumstances, too far away for black holes to allow you to reach, although you can easily imagine the situation. Given these circumstances I have described, you can think that You might be the product of natural selection. Your religions, siblings, yes, brother and sister evolved as you did to make it possible for the others to exist. Your religion needed to enable you, your sports to make you healthy, your words to enable you, your inventions to enable your kind, your poetry to enable you, your animals to enable you, so you can enable them. Not a book written that did not aim at enabling something or someone who continues, thanks to the enablement. Given this situation I've described, there is no point to anything, large or grand, or for your civilization or violence. For many, that means there's no point at all. No higher goal, I intend to say. That is the point. No grand end, no solution final. Even though our ancestors may have woken in the middle of the night to cries of mammoths, mammoths, food, food, even though they may have grabbed their weapons and fires, run together into the night, eager to be a family of heroes, eager to win a lot of good food, eager to risk their bones and muscles, their hearts and lives. There is no higher goal. No point in dominating, that is. For many, there is no point at all. Even though we follow the same process. Invent grand goals, some of them impossible. Invent grand names, some of them false. Encourage others to hold in mind the possible grand end, as if a final grand moment were a fitting reward for a night's work, a fitting reward for everyone you know and everyone you see in your mind. There is no grand point to anything. If there are saviors in the universe, likely they are not us. Likely we are children who must learn that what we see may be true. Given this situation I have described, you may go at process, ride the wave, seek to find and discover, seek to experience what you are, what you can enable, experience to be enabled, to be something and someone. Find the process you like and need, the one that works, the process that brought you here, takes you out and back again. Find the feeling, the accomplishment, the process, you being a process yourself, all your family, your animals, your ancestors and descendants, all of you, all one, all many. Given the situation I have described, we should take care to improve as well as enable. Improve you, it, her, or him. Improve the whole, the value, the quantity. There are many ways to process and be a process. There are ways that turn out, some bad. There are ways that turn out bad. Keep seeking, trying, processing, eventuate, actuate, try and complete, be and find. Go out and run for cover. Take heart and head. Keep head and heart. Make them be and let them. This is it, you may feel. It may be it, yet let it be. Bring it on. Bring it into being. Have, be, and refuse to murder. Given the situation I have described, you could be from another planet. We could be from a monkey. It doesn't matter yet. All that matters is what happens, what we do, and what happens. There you go.
That was epic, Marshall.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I enjoy it.
So next up, we're gonna bring you our feature for tonight. 1 second. Yeah, so tonight we have Lee Eric Freedman, the renegade poet laureate of Swampscott, Massachusetts, which is definitely my favorite sentence to say. The renegade poet laureate is definitely one of my favorite couplings of words. Since 2011, Lee has been affectionately titled the renegade poet of laureate of Swampscott. It's an honorarium bestowed upon him by his friend and storyteller, Tony Toledo. He is truly honored and humbled to be both. When Lee is busy being any type of laureate, he leads the Tin Box Poets of Swampscott workshop group, hosts the monthly First Friday open mic at Reach Arts Swampscott, and regularly performs at open mics all over the place. He's a 3-time winner of the Naomi Cherkovsky Memorial Poetry Contest. Recent publications are co-author of Mad Men of Lynn Anthology, Writings from the Walnut Street Cafe, 2017 Ring of Bone Press, Anthology for Social and Environmental Justice, 2018 Vagabond Books. I'm saying 2018, but I'm reading 2108, and I'm like, oh, that's not right. I'm like, wait, did I time jump? Oh my God, where am I? But I'm sure Lee's poems are going to do that to us as well. We're going to be like mind blown like 3 or 4 times at least during this set. Now you can also find Lee's poems in Stick Figure Poetry Quarterly, as well as recent 2022 Kuch Behar books anthologies from India, and from the Out Loud LGBTQ literary anthology from Red or Green Books. But please put your hands together, unmute yourselves for Lee Eric Freedman. Thank you.
Thank you. New day rising, new day rising, new day rising, new day rising. At the end of my dream, Sunday, 6:45 a.m. So I stood in the hall with the brown paper walls at the school with the students when Neil came up to me and he said, "Oh, good. Oh, great. How fantastic. How amazing. Another poet, another voice, another reader for our time, for our place, for our now." And I panicked and I screamed, "I am reading? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm reading. I'm reading. I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. I'm unable. When it's my turn, where's my notebook? Where's my notebook? I lost my notebook. I lost my notebook. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I can't read. I can't read. Oh my God, it's not here. It's not here. It's at home, in the dryer, tumbling round, tumbling round, tumbling round, drying out, fading out, flaking out. I run home, take it out, grab it out, yank it out, and it's wrinkled, and it's broken, and it's cracked, and it's shattered. And the wind will blow, and the wind will blow, and it will scatter, it will scatter, it will scatter. My voice, my words, my voice, my words, my voice, my words to the grateful, grateful people of the world. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot, Jeff, for inviting me tonight. I appreciate it, and I hope you all enjoy this. Incident at Market Basket. Ellen, get potato chips. Ellen, potato chips. From the farthest reaches of the crackers, chips, and salty snacks, aisle 15, his crusty bull roar chain rattles the daily din of Thursday morning shoppers. Potato chips, Ellen. Potato chips, Ellen. Potato chips, Ellen. Ferociously, she grabs several cans of sour cream and onion flavored Pringles and lobs them into her shopping carriage. Her saurian face contorted into cantankerous communique. These are potato chips, Dick. Thank you. Really happened.
Yeah,
Really happened.
I can picture it.
If you haven't shopped at a Market Basket, then you're missing like everything. Okay,
Was that
so I
in Vinton Square?
No, it's the one in Salem.
Okay.
Real life, real life.
Real life.
Yeah.
Okay, so this piece recently was accepted to the forthcoming anthology that's coming out on Vagabond Books. It's called Descent. It'll be an anthology to end war and capitalism. So the epigraph for this is from the goth band Sisters of Mercy. Give me the ring, kissed and told. Give me something that I missed, a hand to hold, wild and what it seems. This is, excuse me, this is called Open Face. 87 million people, 8 times the population of Burundi, a Googleplex of likes times 50. Facebook, an attractive con artist, a superb device built on ruthless exploitation of our personal data. Facebook got us data mined, collected and analyzed. They mined our minds, crunched the numbers, hacked our private lives. Is it personal? Is it private? Do we still own it? Did it even belong to us in the first place? A perfect picture of your moistest meatloaf. David's daughter scores her first goal. That photo of my huge, well, I took that down because you were all like so jealous. But hey, they trolled that print too. I can just see that thing getting duped 1,000 times and winding up on cable somewhere. 87 million of us downloaded, clicked, baited, jiggered, trawled by the very British Cambridge Analytica. But everyone loves the Brits. I think they're so awfully nice. Hip, hip, and stiff upper lip. Ship shape and Bristol fashion. They invented the Beatles and Harry Potter. But we clicked on it. They cashed on it, deliberately carving us like Scrooge's goose, decidedly serving themselves bits and bites and bites and more bites of my brain, straining, sieving, squeezing, juicy pulp and pips to blend and be mingle with your juicy bits, his juicy bits, and those over there's juicy bits into smooth, juicy data caches determined to crack the code of who you or I vote for. Our books are open face. What were we thinking when we signed the line to live inside this digital universe? We knew the consequences of our actions. Click here to play our reindeer games. Eureka, it's so fun. Better than life, better than drugs. Congratulations, Kevin. Nice one, Angela. Is my high school bully still asking, hey, do you want fries with that? Romper, stomper, bumper, boo. Tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today. Did all my friends have fun at play? Love the selfie, Charles. John's posted a new song. OMG, she's such a bitch. So they mined our minds, duped, dug, delved. They graphed and fulfilled, welding my brain into your brain, into Hammer Horror's Frankenstein's monster and its pulsing data storm of know-it-all. I know who you are. Come out, wherever you are. We got eviscerated when we pledged our faith. They reap what we've sown. We're easy rows to hoe. This is what you want. This is what you get. This is what you want. This is what you got. Open book, open face, open sesame. We didn't have a clue, or we were too stupid to care in the first place. Thank you. Okay. This is a serious one. I lost a number of 3 poet friends this year, and it was pretty tough. This is for my friend Melissa Vanarvis. At your wake. Here you are, my friend, wearing your finest gray cable knit sweater and that flashy purple scarf you love so much. You always dress with style and flair. Your hair neatly coiffed, your face dons a hint of makeup. Here I am. My hands sweat and tremble like a first-day kindergartner. I'm that small boy looking for something somewhere. Guidance, maybe? Excuse me. Our gathered friends instantly provide this, but I puzzle and doubt my outfit's appropriateness even as the mourner clad in surgical scrubs exits past me. What do I say? What do I do? It's the second time for me. The first time barely registers being long buried in my past. It's the first time for you. This adventure totally unexpected, totally not like the you that I know and love. The you with the always reasonably thought out action plan that often modified as our daily celebrations moved forward. This is totally unlike you, flying on broken wings, and me hanging on for dear life as I get chucked into this frantic facade of flowers, friends, family, a sea of tears and unknown rituals. I blink, hold my breath, hold back my tears. I try to look like I'm a grown-up, to look like I know what I'm doing, but on the inside, my first impulse is to vomit into that lone flower pot by the window that looks out onto the parking lot. The pot overflows with beauty and grief. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. My last look at you. I don't want this to happen, but it's happening. This isn't the final vision I want to remember of you, displayed in a box like some museum attraction. I'm so sorry. I'm so insulting, so thoughtless. Please, please forgive my callousness. Please, please forgive my unprintable words. Instead, I picture you, Bombay Sapphire Dirty Martini in hand, gathered with a slew of other great poets, all laughing, carousing, burning the mic down at some amazingly cool after-hours bar, an open mic somewhere far beyond your mortal coil. I don't want this. Nobody wants this. I see it in their faces, grief, guilt. Some whisper to you on bended knee, I'm sorry, Melissa. This I cannot do. I can never do this. Please, please forgive me. Please stop this movie. Please change this channel. Please remove this illusion now. I approach your casket. I wave goodbye. You never respond. Thank you. Let's see. How much time have I got? Anyone?
Honestly, I
Okay.
tend not to keep track, and I just I tell you 15 minutes, and then when you feel like you've said what you wanted to say,
All right.
then I kind of go with that. But probably like 5-10 minutes, I would say.
Okay. All right. I'll pull a couple more out. I'm kind of winging it now. I pulled out a bunch, but they're kind of long. So, all right, we'll go
Yeah, I
from
don't
here.
want
This
to
is
be
another.
restrictive, but I don't want to give you more time than you can handle, but I also don't want to be
Right.
restrictive. So like whatever
Right.
whatever you feel like, when you feel like you said what you wanted to say tonight, then that's when you're done.
All right, we'll do 3 more, so we'll go from there. All right, this is a new piece. Some of you may know my friend T.A. Niles. He lives in the southwestern corner of New Mexico.
Great poet.
Yeah. So this is called Hello There, and it's for T.A. Niles. Later, over drinks, after tonight's open mic, in casual conversation, I query, "So what's your real first name?" T.A. crinkles his face into a brown study. "You really want to know, my friend?" He shakes his head, smiles. "Let's make a game of this. Why don't you guess?" Thiago Abraham, no. Tristan Alexandra, nuh-uh. Tyrell Addison, negative. I know, Titus Andronicus, laughs. Tobias Albert, clever but not exactly. Tiberius Archaeopteryx, snorts, groans. Tony Allen, like Fela Kuti's drummer, way coolly, but no dice. I got it. Telemachus Agamemnon. Most definitely not. Tarquin Archibald. Tapio Axel. Tecumseh Amir. Thurman Andromeda. No. T&A. Now shut your mouth, Lee. He quickly cuts me off, his face a blaze of blast furnace horror. I retreat to the corner. A long ashen silence ensues. After what seems like an impenetrable solitude, but really is a minute or three, in his calmest voice of green, deep velvet, he answers, "T.A. Niles. Call me T.A. Niles," he answers. Hey, T.A. Niles. He laughs. "Hello there, Lee Eric, my friend. Thank you." We'll do two more. Let's see. Don't mind me. I pulled out a pile. Now I'm all right. We'll do this one. This is the epigraph for this is by the Police. There's a little black spot on the sun today. It's called Somewhere. Friday evening somewhere, yet again. There's a newbie open mic performer who clatters and natters their latest and greatest poem ever. You know the one, the motivational sermon rhyme about how my life sucks so much and then suddenly it doesn't, and all of us must live most positive and full. Or the one about their glorious garden somewhere where the flowers grow most magnificently, especially the gold yellow daisies. Oh, why do they even bother? We've heard this direct before. Bob, tonight's feature, simply stares. Tom listlessly scrolls his phone. Dan fidgets. In the kitchen, Angela quietly tunes her guitar. Steve sighs and stifles a yawn while his husband Greg quickly slides on his coat and hastily tiptoes away somewhere. As all of us pray for another poem like M.P. Carver's, that one where Emily Dickinson gets laid for the first time on her kitchen table. One like that will surely save us from slow death. Finally, their announcement. This is my last poem tonight. But first, the de rigueur 3-minute intro that accompanies the read in 30 seconds poem about how the neighbor's white Angora cat got stuck in a tree somewhere in the middle of their glorious garden somewhere. My drooping eyes suddenly fall upon a small black spot on the gray stone tile floor a few feet from the boiler room door, no larger than a silver dime. Having never noticed it before, I'm intrigued as to its origins. A spilt crumb of food, a splat of black paint, a smudge of boot black, or just a weird flaw in the tile itself? Or maybe maybe, oh God, maybe an escape route, a tiny newborn quantum singularity woven into the fabric of space-time that quickly expands into a mighty monster-mouthed wormhole that I'll fall through and be whisked to freedom and land somewhere at the open mic somewhere at the feet of a poet somewhere will take me to other worlds somewhere, other galaxies somewhere, an entire universe set on a grain of sand on a beach somewhere, free from their never-ending drone of boring poetry. Or maybe at the other end somewhere, there's another bleary-eyed renegade host of an open mic somewhere who happens to look up and think, what's that black spot on the white ceiling? Thank you. I'll do one more. So this is my last one, and I haven't read this in a while. So this poem appeared in the Vagabond Books Extreme Anthology, and I was honored when I was the first to open the book and find out that this was the first poem in the book. The title is Latin, and it is called Ecce Carmen. This poem's been written many, many times by you or some other famous poet. And this poem is inspired by that other poem written by you or that famous poet whose name escapes me at this moment. This poem began when time began and will last until time ends. This poem welcomes with a hearty hug. It tells the truth or blurs it blind. This poem paints the skies green, turns rivers into lemonade. This poem's heavy duty and kink resistant. This poem is a dream like all poems are dreams. So the title of this poem cannot be titled Dream or Dreams or Nightmares because those are just bad dreams. Scorpions live inside this poem, as do spiders, as do frogs, as do things that go bump in the night. This poem is evil. This poem is Harry Powell. This poem is Norman Bates, Darth Vader, Hannibal Lecter, Tom Riddle. This poem is a black man. This poem gets shot and dies. This poem is transgender. This poem can't piss in their toilet. This poem is Muslim, is Syrian, a refugee, a little boy fleeing war, drowned in the surf on a beach in Turkey. This poem likes men. This poem is gay. This poem is so gay because I hate poetry and poems so much they suck and they're gay. But this poem will rip your clothes off or beat you senseless till you're blue, bruised, damaged, and rearranged. This poem is Hitler. This poem is Pol Pot. This poem is Idi Amin. This poem is Donald. Or it could be, if you or I wanted it, maybe. This poem is good. So good, in fact, there's too much good inside this poem to call this poem evil. This poem is Monet. This poem is Satie. This poem is Rimbaud. Ecce homo, behold the man, this poem screams. You'll love this poem, you'll hate this poem. This is the rule for all poems. This poem makes you reach, this poem makes you retch, makes you feel, makes you think. But this poem's a fraud, a scam, a lark, a fluke, a fake, a cliche. It's not a poem. This poem is as good as dead until such time when you or I read this poem, hear this poem. It'll open its eyes, spread its wings. This poem's a butterfly. This poem's an eagle, a poetry eagle. This poem will soar. This poem will drum the drum, gong the gong, horn the horn. This poem will roar, raise the roof, take the action. Stand up, fight back. Ecce Carmen, behold the poem. This poem is to be continued. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bless you all. Thank you for having me tonight.
Wow, thank you, Lee. That was amazing.
To be continued is very optimistic. I like that.
Thank you.
That final poem, that was. Where can we get that anthology?
It's available in the Extreme Anthology, which is on Vagabond Books, and I believe it is vagabond.net, I believe.
All right,
Is
yeah.
the website.
I
So
love-
that's out of Venice, California, and Mark Lippman is the editor. Some of you might know him. And yeah, I think it's Vagabond. It's either vagabondbooks.net or vagabond.net. So
yeah, I'll have to look into getting that because I saw they also have another anthology coming out pretty soon, Descent.
yeah,
And I saw a few poets that I know, including Generalissimo Brian Franco, are going to be in that anthology. So I'm sure they've got a good taste, a good eye for poets that I would enjoy because I'm seeing all these poets that I already enjoy in there. So yeah, I'm going to go and check out those works.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be a blast, that new book too.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely seems awesome. Thank you for your feature tonight. And
All right.
it was great. Hey, did you I'd love always ask through the features if they have a PayPal or a Cash App or some Venmo that they want to, if they want to share that in the chat. So I believe in tipping your feature. You know, if we were in a venue, I would be able to give Lee part of the door. There's no venue, there's no door. So even if you tip like $2 or $3 to Lee, that would go a long way. I think even to buy him a cup of coffee or something over the
I
weekend.
do have a PayPal. I have to figure out how to get that in the chat, and I will do that. I will do that.
Sure, yeah. If you hang out and watch the rest of the open mic, then you have a chance to drop it in there at any point.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great, yeah. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, that last poem really is got me thinking. Yeah, did you see Trump? They're looking to looks like they're going to be indicting Trump. They're preparing to indict Trump now. They're looking at security measures because they're assuming there's going to be some sort of violence. So people take precaution in your travels, especially as the indictments roll out.
So is this, it's beyond rumors. There's something official has been said. Is that right?
It's well, people, it seems like at least that people would know are saying that it is going to be rolling out soon.
Yeah, I've been hearing that speculation for years. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I think they've been there's a lot. I think there's probably a lot more going on than we know is in that regards, and they're just kind of getting all their ducks in a row before they come out with anything.
You could be right.
But yeah, that's some good news in the on the political front, which we don't get. I guess we don't get a lot of these days. But.
Yeah, very positive.
Yeah. All right. So next up on the open mic is going to be Tanish, and then after Tanish is Joy Johnson will be on deck.
Hey, hi everyone. I have this half of poetry is teaching others your language for the world, painting the page with letters that step into a Bhangra dance. All the girls in our colorful sequin langas asking each other at the Diwali functions if we're going to dance, to break the ice we didn't dare break in daylight at Gurdwara. No, I don't know. Maybe. If the aunties pull me in. The aunties never tired of pulling us into what we secretly wanted to do. If they did, it didn't stop them from trying. Eyes meeting auntie's outstretched hands, turning them down, those hands were all we needed. I needed to feel like I belonged, the femme I am, sore from gripping this pen. The end. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Tanish. One of my favorite poets I don't get to hear from often enough. So please keep coming back. Next up on the open mic will be Joy.
Okay, so I have you guys gotta help me decide which one to read. I've got one that is maybe a little bit like one of those freshman poets at the open mic with the personal journey and the internal stuff and growing up. Or I also have one that's also going to be in dissent. Which one would you like to hear?
I'm kind of like in a vagabond mood, I guess. So I feel like I have to say that I want to hear the one in dissent.
Okay, cool. You know, this dissent is a anti-war collection. So this is called the After-War Clan. We were the chimpanzee clan, the meat-eating, sharp-toothed, banshee, poop-flinging clan. We ran with scissors in our hands, no intention to stop sinning. War was what our kind made, that made us like the ants, brutal streak, tear, and call out for more. Something, a hole in our soul. We saved the worst for last. We suffered no scruple when the appetite struck. Why not? If blood soaked pelts, then we bargained on the rain to help us remember hearts not so hardened, mother's succor and solace, things that spoke to what was still mammalian in us. And tranquil for a spell, we forgave ourselves. We were the bonobo clan. We answered only to the woman and the vulva. Our men will get up smack down for carrying on, for forgetting how to humor the very human body and its pleasure, thicket, focus, core. It's all about the love. Politics are resolved in that grotto, that ripe tomato, but something keeps us at bay. Shame. We aspire to be angels, bodiless, spiritus, not of this earth, even though each molecule belongs to her. There she is, pulling us into her hollow. So we fight that, maintain our exceptionality, not dirty. Some of the time, we might like to read books, not fuck, not cave in. We are the Homo sapiens clan. So many hang-ups, so susceptible to a word or a few from almost anyone, conditioned to fawn and favor one who has more of what we don't, and we think we don't have much because they tell us it's so. Perpetual disaffection, never, ever, ever just good enough to look up at the deep, deep sky and know we're home, sit still, be fulfilled by the apparent simplicity of gravity, our mother's hug. Maybe there's a way, maybe a process that could bring us back to ourselves, to appreciation of sun and rain and things nearby and plain as day. We are the passionate, compassionate clan. We don't know what we stand for or where or when. Everything is given to us. We can't make our own. And bafflement may equally likely bite as kiss the hand that feeds. It's hard to be this confused, this filing cabinet of old news mixed with the new. Head over heart, over heels, overhead, when the lead strikes, we finally recognize somnambulant, what the end just might imply. Birth and death between gulfs of unknowing when the pattern undergoes recoding or escaping being, a respite, what we could have been, quiet and not so damned needy. We were glorious and furious, shouting to the air, hair-raising anger, fouling the water, building the walls and the silos and the bombs. We were magnificent in our cups, thoughtless, with no memory, no ingenuity for keeping it in our pants. We were frightening and frightened, blaming it all on the evil within us. We were here once. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Now I'm definitely gonna have to go get that anthology. That sealed the deal. That's gonna be my purchase for next week. The next up on the open mic, we have John Wessick, and then on deck is Mark States.
So one of Lee's poems reminded me of this one by Steve Cowett, and he actually posted a link to the broadside in the chat. It's called I Attend a Poetry Reading. The fellow reading poetry at us wouldn't stop. Nothing would dissuade him, not the stifling heat, the smoky walls with their illuminated clocks, our host who shifted anxiously from foot to foot. Polite applause had stiffened to an icy silence. No one clapped or nodded. No one sighed. Surely he must understand that we had families waiting for us, jobs we had to get to in the morning. That chair was murdering my back. The cappuccino tasted unaccountably of uric acid. Lurid bullfight posters flickered in the red fluorescent light, and suddenly I knew that I had died, and for those much too windy readings of my own, had been condemned to sit forever in this damned cafe. A squadron of enormous flies buzzed around the cup of piss I had been drinking from. Up at the mic, our poet of the evening grinned and flicked his tail and kept on reading. Yeah. Steve Cowett, I attend a poetry reading.
Thank you, John. And did I hear Lee say that you're going to be the feature at Reach Outs?
Yes, April 7th.
Yeah.
April 7th? Yeah. Please
Yeah.
put drop a link in the chat.
I don't have a link yet. I haven't put it up on Facebook yet.
All right. Yeah, share it to the Facebook group then.
All right. I will do that.
Once you create it. Yeah. Great. Next up on the open mic is Mark States. And then on deck we have I went and looked it up and now I'm blanking. Oh, so next up is Mark States, and then Ike is on deck.
Root beer float? Oh, hell yeah. I empty the bottle, watching foam rise over a cumulus cloud of vanilla ice cream. Dip spoon into foam and ladle onto tongue. Man, this tastes good. I am 10 years old, with grandma at the 38th Avenue fountain. First, a cheeseburger, then French fries, then that mouth-watering root beer float that makes me fat just thinking about it. Lunch at the 38th Avenue fountain was me and my brother's reward for behaving while getting our haircuts next door at the 38th Avenue barber shop. Yeah, we were creative with names in my neighborhood, but the time I behaved while my brother did not. Oh, come on, I can eat, he can starve, I don't care. But grandma was way too smart for that, and she was very wise. with her elbows on the counter, burger cradled in her petite hands as though she is returning a newborn baby to its mother's arms. Grandma chats with the waitress about history, politics, trivia, the best way to cook pig's feet. Man, I just love being here by Grandma's side, watching adult conversation bubble up like the foam in the root beer float, and Grandma's eyes twinkling like the glass right before she bellies up in laughter. Eventually, Grandma died, and there were no more trips to the 38th Avenue fountain. Mom did not believe in bribery. Just go get your hair cut and shut up. So nope, I was a grandmama's boy, always at her feet like a puppy dog. Grandma tells me all these stories about growing up on a farm. She shows me how to pickle watermelon rinds and how to cook up a mean pot of greens. And so here I am in a rundown cafe just off Main Street in Grandma's hometown of Vermilion, South Dakota. A bottle of Sioux City root beer is in front of me, and it glistens in the afternoon sun. To the brim and overflowing like the foam, I am with love for my grandmother. And man, this tastes good. I dip spoon into foam, ladle onto tongue, empty the bottle, foam rises, cumulus clouds, vanilla ice cream, root beer float. Oh, hell yes.
Hell yes is right. I don't know if I like that poem or the root beer float itself better. It's a toss-up. It's hard to say.
You can like both, please.
I do like, that's what I'm saying. I like them both. It's a race for which one might edge out the other one. Who knows? On different times, it might be a different one. Next up on the open mic is Ike.
The pot to pee. I like to fill my time with music. I like my words to rush like a river and shape the unwilling pebbles into jewels of the divine. I like to fill the time I have left with timeless sound to please your mind. It ruddles my imagination, which seeks wilting sleep every day, just that little deeper. Counting Alka-Seltzer at night, counting raindrops in bits and bytes, counting birds in the windy sky, counting in different languages I understand. As long I still can see foggy Fox nuisance, these square talking heads on TV, enlightened by synchronized spines, rows of red-colored books, advertising the background of wisdom's loom. Daily paragraph words promote that latest Latin farmer boom, convincing countless wannabes. Just like me. I like to stay alive before I die. Oh, yes, I do. I am the wallpaper of a discombobulated nation, and I can see the nothing of value. But painfully, I will feel it all once in hell. The Scotus, that hocus pocus fidibus, 6 to 3, a balance by politicus diabolus, playing poker a la precarious. Leaking trust, a must. Deciding life's reality with a smirk of that lifelong political superiority. We all know that it's never about justice, but it is all about winning the case. That's our self-imposed democracy, we must obey, playing us with that good boy. Well done. Yes, sir. No, sir. Obedience. Handing us that out of date historical chamber pot in which they trained us so well to chit and to pee. Like in the past, dirty hen on my heart, all these countless years of disharmony, life is a politician's politics domain, defining us, the digital mass, or the Twitter mob. But who is the we praying to our man-made God? Are we lost in this equation? What is equality doing anyway and congregating in the restroom, shoulder to shoulder at every pissoir? And in our quarterbacking wisdom, we lick white man's water closet so squeaky, squeaky clean. Yes, yes, we will not forget to jubilate. We always do, just without any tangible effect. So let it be, wasting words of wisdom. Let it be, as long as I have my own proverbial pot to pee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ike. Please, everybody come back October 20th. Ike is going to be the feature here at the Garage Poets. So come back then and you can get a full featured set for Mike. Next month's feature, we have Sam Cha to finish off the trilogy of Massachusetts poets that I've had for features here. Last month was Amanda Shea. This month we were dazzled with Lee Eric Freedman, and Sam Cha is going to be next month. So please come back around for check out his feature. So next up on the open mic is going to be Steve.
You're muted.
You're muted, Steve. Oh, and Banjo is on deck. Sorry, Luce, let me take this accidental muting moment here just to alert that let Banjo know that he's on deck. But yeah, go ahead, Steve. Thanks.
Okay. This is called My White Room. The walls are closing in, bugs are crawling on me. My eyes no longer see any trace of reality. Here inside my sickened mind, a wall I simply cannot climb. I can't see and I can't cross this imaginary line. The bugs are tormenting me. I'm itching all the time. I know they're a part of me, yet the doctors say it's all in my mind. I cause myself to bleed. I'm scratching to the bone. Bugs are attacking me. They won't leave me alone. Some thoughts within are thoughts without. My mind plays tricks on me. I live in fear and doubt. Are the doors locked? I must check all the time. I'm so paranoid, yet the doctors say that it's all in my mind. Scratching until I bleed, the bugs keep biting me. They're planting their seeds to give me a disease. I've washed the fingerprints off my hands. I wash them until I bleed. No one understands what cleanliness means to me. I'd like a white room with white linen sheets. I wish all these spiders would stop threatening me. And in my white room, a white sink and a white shower, so I could stay clean for more than an hour. And upon my white door, at least 22 locks, since its cleanliness I adore, a million pairs of clean white socks. I'm now locked inside my little white room, safe from the outside world. If the doctors let me out, it would be too soon. Now the roaches want to kill me, so I'll take another shower. How did they get into my white room? I've only been here a half an hour. My delusions of spiders and roaches and bugs have now led me to the nice white room in the asylum, where they give me lots of drugs and lock the doors for me at night. I still find it hard to fall asleep, even in my world of white. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. After all, the world is white. Thank you.
Was that two pieces?
I could do two if you want.
Yeah, or yeah, I thought were we doing one piece or two pieces? I wasn't, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, we've been
this
doing
is-
one, Shocky, but
What?
Oh, okay.
This is called My Lady Friend Nancy. There is a space in my heart that used to be empty. It now overflows with her and the love that she gives me. I try to express my feeling in words, yet they're not as deep as my feelings for her. My beautiful woman, a creation of fancy, gracing her every step, my lady friend Nancy. She walks across the room, I feel her every move. The scent of her perfume seems to change my mood. She's my best friend, she's my lover. She knows there is no other who could ever replace her under the covers. As the morning wakes, we cherish the night we've spent. The love we made was what we meant. She's my reason for waking, our lives full of sharing, our loves for the making, two hearts full of caring for each other each day, forever for each other, forever I need her to stay. Beautiful woman, creation of fancy, gracing her every step, my lady friend Nancy. One arrow and two hearts, one touch and two hands, holding on to my feelings, only she understands. Every day, more and more, I grow closer to the one my heart's been searching for. She's the one who's always there when I need someone to care. For we need each other to share each day and night as we learn to share each other's lives. She's more than a friend, she means as much as life. She's more than a feeling, I've asked her to be my wife. Thank you.
thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Up
Thanks.
next is Banjo. We got Skip on deck.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm gonna read a poem because today I'm celebrating 21 years since my first poem was published, and so I'm gonna read that poem for you. That poem is called "Me and Proud to Be." It's called I'm not the toughest, strongest man in the world, but I am me, and I'm proud to be. I'm not a wannabe gangster, but I'm me, and I'm proud to be. I'm not the best dressed, but I'm me, and I'm proud to be. I'm not the most popular. I'm not the richest. I don't have people all over the world, but I am me, and I am proud to be. Because what I don't have in looks, riches, toughness, and fame, I make up for in love, kindness, joy, and Christianity. So that's why I say, I am beautiful. I am me, and I am proud to be. And that's it. That's it.
Thank you, Banjo. Is this your first time here?
Yeah, it's my first time here.
I thought so, but I think I've seen you read at the Walnut Street Cafe. Is that true?
No, I've been I'm thinking where is the Walnut Street Cafe?
That's in Lynn, Massachusetts.
No, I'm from LA.
You're so no, that definitely wasn't you. That I feel like I've seen
Might
you
have been somebody who looked like me. You never know.
I think that Banjo used to come to Nick Paleologos' thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe that's where it is. And for some reason, there was somebody at the Walnut Street Cafe that I've seen read that I was mistaken you with. So sorry, my apologies, but I really enjoyed your poem, and I hope you come back.
They say everybody has a twin.
That's true. That if it means anything, it was a positive association.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, also before I forget, on Sunday I don't know if anybody's in LA. I'll be appearing at the Lexington Bar on Sunday. If you guys, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, definitely drop that in the chat.
Cool.
And then next up on the open mic, we have Skip Keith.
Thank you. This is called In Defense of Violence. There is a context for violence in the world. There are those pacifists of zeal and conviction that believe life's so precious, God's so forgiving, they could never take a life. Turn the other cheek, forgive and forget. I see things a little differently. I could pull the trigger, throw the switch, lay the noose around the neck. Sometimes the evil is too great. It cries to be eradicated. Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, great men who espoused nonviolence. I don't care. Give me the gun, give me the rope, show me the switch. Little children sent to school, parishioners sharing prayers cut down, souls that suddenly find themselves loosed in the ether, families wakened to terror in their own homes, dreams turned into nightmares. I've seen parents pleading on the evening news, or watched a man smirk heartless and cruel, his victim of a girl of 8, never to reach 9. I felt my anger, a shadow of the families, but shared grow. The victims, their fear, their pain, until their last breath, until their last conscious thought, hoping, hanging on, crying, screaming out, and then they are gone. For them and those they left, I could throw the switch, pull the trigger, lay the noose around the neck. Maybe I'm no better than those that perpetrate the crimes, finding another excuse for an act of violence. But no apologies. Violence breeds anger. Revenge has its place. There are scores to settle. It's biblical. An eye for an eye. Even God, in all his seeing every sparrow fall, would agree with me. Read the Old Testament. The wrath of God is a terrible thing. I could throw the switch, pull the trigger, lay the noose around the neck.
Thank you, Skip. Keep enjoying hearing your poems the last few weeks. Really appreciate you coming back. So I'm not sure, is Shockey back with us? I know Shockey stepped away for a moment. We were communicating via messenger, and so now I'm just going to kind of rattle on a minute because I believe we are reaching the end of round 1 of the open mic. And it will be Shockey will be the last reader for the open mic before we bid the internet world adieu, and we continue on to the second round of the open mic.
Jeff, Dan was, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Dan Spears was, he was on the list, the last one I saw in the chat. Dan.
All right. Well, then I apologize for missing that. And yeah, so we'll have if Dan's ready to read, we'd love to have the I don't know how I overlooked a poet laureate. I mean, I feel like I'm tripping on my virtual self here. It's
perfectly all right. I love listening to all the different voices and the different way people put together the music, the sound of poetry, because poetry is the music of our heart, and particularly on this day, which is the Irish Day, when the poets of Ireland and Wales are so really important. Listen to the music of the universe singing, the poetry of time, the rhythmic hum of cosmic song, the beating heart whispering, I am. Puddles of time rippling across eternity, intersecting with others born of ancient stars, when everything, both us and them began, with every new birth innocent and filled with promise. And every yesterday ground up and grumbled into stardust and recycled into the dirt and clay that makes the future stars, that fills the universe with the unfinished melody of tomorrow, that sings to the poet and awaits the poem. Poetry. It's just as night is fading, the morning comes to me, awakening, nudging the sand of sleep from my eyes, and brushing my lips with the dew-tangy taste of dawn, while all around me, wherever sunshine flows into trees and morning frost kisses the autumn leaves, wherever wind teases the reeds and insects hum and tadpoles start, Wherever the sea laps upon a shore and islands bask in the sun, wherever cities blink and shake off the shrouds of night, wherever the morning sun dyes the world in yellow bright and the earth awakens, grumbling as it always does, and bragging that it's here, a new day. And like my cat, that new day has been watching me, slipping up close with its damp nose, paws to rap me one with her paw, telling me it's time to join the chorus, to once again become, to say hello to the universe, to feed the cat and write poetry.
Bravo, bravo. Great, such depth to the highs and lows. Thank you so much. Now, next up on the open mic, we have the Urban Cowboy Poet.
Cool. You're still streaming? You didn't close it. Okay. So I want to introduce, speaking of being open to the universe, what he ever said. My first granddaughter born this morning.
Oh, wow. Precious, precious. Best
Zoe,
wishes to them. Best wishes to them.
Zoe Michaels. Yeah, I'll do an urban legend for you. I'm going to do Chess Master Disaster. Haven't done that in a while. Every Russian boy, Lena Fool, thought to play some chess. Nikolai Tito, just out of school, thought to be the best. Fans followed him on his journey towards becoming a grandmaster to this most important tourney. That's suspected a disaster. Nick was leading the championship, which lasted 7 days. Every pair of Kibitzer's lips was singing Tito's praise. The way he moved his rooks and queens and pushed his pawn phalanx, opponents thought that they was being squished by Russian tanks. He jumps his knights around with joy until checkmate he forced. You could tell that Moscow boy must truly love his horses. He'll earn the GM title if he can win this game. Otherwise, this night will only bring chagrin and shame. His clocks were ticking. Last round started after dinner. Smart money was picking Nikolai to be the winner. He didn't want to split the show. His opponents sat there grinning. Tito faced his toughest foe, dread, Sergei Dubinin. As Nikolai began the bout, he seemed in the groove, not hassled. He calmly brought his pieces out. On the seventh move, he castled. He played the way he'd won all week, opening files and setting traps. But in a while, his game looked bleak. His position had collapsed. He'd studied rival strategies till his eyes were sore. But this one employed gadgetry he'd never seen before. Normally, he'd be crushing even though he was playing black. This time, white was rushing into a fierce inside attack. Nikolai felt pressure that he prayed he could keep hitting. Sergei grinned like a Cheshire cat who ate something forbidden. Nick's pieces had no place to go. Where had he gone wrong? That sneering, sniveling, evil foe had locked him in Lugsvar. Usually, Tito's domination of all the 64 forced opponents' resignation when they couldn't take no more. But this year game was causing him dismay and consternation. Danger loomed in Tito's brain, fraught with over-concentration. Steam rose in him, toe to crown. Brain circuits overloaded. He turned green, then thickly brown. Then his head exploded. Kerplow! Or a Russian word for a loud explosive sound. By now, awful noise was heard at every board around. Then his brain began to splatter. The chessboard was a fright, gooey gobs of gray matter amidst the black and white. Sergei gave no reaction, just sat there in shock. In a rare show of compassion, he switched off Tito's clock. Dr. Martinenko, brain expert, presented his diagnosis. No, sorry. Like Rembrandt's strokes, they say he moved. His art was pushing wood.
Seems like we lost Greg there. Greg, I think you have trouble with your connection.
Cerebral. Yeah, can you hear me now? No? It's unstable.
Like in and out. It's not stable. I can hear you now, yes, but it's not super stable.
It just told me it's unstable.
Yeah.
So where was I that you heard? The head already exploded, right?
Yes, it did.
In the brain.
It was short. It was, yeah.
What?
It was a little bit after that. Yeah. Do you want to pick a point to go back in, or?
Yeah, I'll just finish it off. Like 1 or 2 stanzas.
Maybe turn off your video. A lot of times, if you turn off your video, then your audio will be more stable because it's only trying to send the audio data.
Did I get the best line in there? There gave no reaction. He just sat there in shock. They say his art wood. But Russian folks say Titov proved too smart for his own good. Then Dr. Martinenko, writing expert, presented his diagnosis. Titov, Nick, don't think too hard. Just take it slow, or this can happen to you. The Weekly World News said so, so you know it must be true. And that's it.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming back.
You can read it yourself. I'm in granddaughter.
Yeah, you're still breaking up there. So it's it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it.
Just put it. We'll go to the chat. We'll take it to the text. You know, it was awesome seeing you. Thanks for coming out. Hey, so I think that brings us to Shockey. Shockey, are you back with us?
Yep, I didn't go anywhere.
Awesome.
It's dark where I'm at now, but I mean, that's about it. I can read, I guess. I'll read the one I just did in the workshop earlier. It's called Ides. They chant, beware, beware the Ides of March, but never the Ides of February. You try to use self-defense, but she keeps stabbing, each word cutting deeper than the last. You know you aren't supposed to remove the daggers, lest you bleed out quicker than the last. Lest you bleed out quicker. But that last blade strikes your heart, feels like molten steel. You think maybe if you pour your heart out, bleed out each memory of her at her feet, she will cauterize the wound, stop the attack. Instead, she chuckles, says all these emotions make you weak. And as your vision fades, you can only think, et tu, Brute? Remember the days she says she was not like the other women, and you realize she is not. Your sanguine saliva starts to rise out your throat, choking on the words you said too many times. I love you, I love you, I loved you. And you watch your future die, crying out her name.
Thank you, Shockey. All right, so I think that brings us to a close. Another month of Garage Poets. Stick around though, because now it goes to the offline Garage Poets second round, where people a lot of times like to try out some new stuff, or just some, maybe not everybody likes to read on stream, so get that opportunity. And yeah, I'm gonna stop the stream. But thanks for coming. Come again next month, where Sam Cha will be our featured poet. That's 421 is Sam Cha is our featured poet. So yeah, please come back for that. See you around, internet world.